Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Bleu. Alright, so I'm back. And I'm going to be doing Vlogmas after this. But today I wanted to talk about the difference, or talk about the pros and cons, rather. The pros and cons of going to an online school for medical coding versus being actually in person at a school learning medical coding. I want to talk about that today. I will be getting around to doing Quiz Friday, but it will probably be tomorrow morning that I will be uploading it. Okay, just so everybody knows. There's a lot of videos I gotta still do tonight, so I wanted to make sure that I still have time. So it will be probably tomorrow morning. But I will get the quiz up so that way you guys can have it. All right. So, what is the difference of pros and cons? When you are learning medical coding, okay, it's going to really depend on what, how you best learn, not what, but how you best learn. Do you best learn by somebody teaching you, or do you have enough discipline to work by yourself at home? Now, keep in mind, even if you go to a trade school, there is a chance that you are going to be just at a computer station and doing stuff online and not really having a whole lot of interaction with a provider, or not a provider, but a instructor is what I meant to say. When I went to medical coding school, I went to a trade school. But this trade school, everything was on the computer. It was literally a program that I was going through on the computer. And as I went through this program, there was seminars during the week, but it wasn't like I was getting taught and seeing a teacher every day. It was literally like a coder who would come in and talk to us, just for a little bit about just different topics and things. So there wasn't really a lot of instructor-led classes. So I happen to be a reader. That's what I do. So that worked for me because it wasn't something that, would it be have been better if I was instructed by an instructor? Sure, you know what I mean? Like who wouldn't want that? But for what it was and for the timing, I was okay with being able to just sit at a computer and learn that way. So it was sort of the equivalent of going to school online. So it's, I mean, if you need to be in a classroom, because studying by yourself independently does take discipline, you can't get distracted. You have to make sure that you maintain a schedule when you are doing schooling online. The programs that are offered through the American Health Information Management Association, the Coding Basics course, it is self-paced. It does last for 1 year. You get 1 year from the time that it is paid for. And you have 1 year to make sure that everything is complete. And then you can just take your test afterwards. So it really, when you're doing self-paced courses, you have to maintain a schedule, because otherwise it's real easy to let yourself fall off and end up forgetting to do the courses, and then all of a sudden, by the time you know it, time is out and you didn't complete what you should have completed. So it really is going to depend on how much you want it. The program that I went through was a 9-month program, but I made it through in 6 months because I was so determined to get out into the real world. I wanted to be a coder. I wanted to start making this money. I wanted to start doing that. So that was where I was coming from at the time that I was doing all of that. It is a really nice thing if you can find a good school with a teacher that can teach you. Keep in mind that not everybody's coding ability is the same, okay? I always say this all the time. Not all coders are created equally. There's going to be some coders that really apply themselves and really want to learn and know more, things like that. And then there are coders that are instructors that are literally reading from a book. And now I've gotten that complaint several times during the comments sections of my videos, And they say that, the teacher is just literally reading from a book and not really teaching like critical thinking skills. You have to have critical thinking skills when you are a medical coder, because we have to be able to decipher all of this information and be able to turn it into a code, okay? So like even with my quiz Fridays, I always try to push that critical thinking, because when you start doing that, your brain starts changing and being able to look at this document and be able to interpret what's going on. So that is very, very important. But it goes back to self-discipline and, taking the time and initiative to learn other things. Even if you are going to a school and you are exposed to a teacher, is that teacher having the experience of years of medical coding, active medical coding, or has it been years of instructing? There is a difference. There is a huge difference between that. If you have somebody that has a lot of hands-on real world experience, and they really truly know how to back up an argument, they know how to look up answers, and they know how to present uh, a lesson, then that is a very valuable person that you want to have as your instructor. If you have an instructor that is just sort of looking at a book and then saying, oh yes, it's this, and not really doing anything outside of that, then that's when you have an issue. But like I said, I like the fact that I did school online. It was just easier for me. Lots of people have jobs and they want to go back to school, but they just don't have time to physically go to a place. So online learning would probably be better for that group of people. Um, but again, if you have the time and if you have the ability to be able to go to on-site classes, that would be best. The more you can expose your brain and your mind to this medical coding, the better off you'll be. So there are two major medical coding associations. There's the American Health Information Management Association and the American Academy of Professional Coders. Whatever program you decide to go with, look at that medical coding association, because you want to make sure that if you're going to pick a HEMA, that you stay with a HEMA, if you or at least in the beginning. Okay, lots of people end up getting credentials through both associations and they become members of both associations. The only thing to that is, the more you have credentials, or if you have both association memberships, it's much more money. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to overstretch yourself, okay? That is huge. You don't want to overstretch yourself. Now, I will be leaving both links to the websites down in the description box below, because I want to make sure that you guys are doing your research and being able to pick out the thing that you like about each medical coding association, and then use that as a deciding factor, or one of the deciding factors, when you're making a decision which credential you want to sit for. I also advise that if you are living in an area, that you type in medical coder and see what listings pop up in your area, what credentials are they looking for, and then base your decision of which association to go with from there. Because I get that question a lot. Oh, Blue, what association do you recommend, or which one is right for whatever their situation is. Now, I will say this. I will say that I will always recommend the American Health Information Management Association. That is me, because I have been there with them for over 10 years. So that is who I know. I like the way that they do things. I like all the things about their program. But it just, like I said, it just really does depend. And in my area, I'm in the minority. There's not a lot of us that are American Health Information Management Association credentialed coders. There's not a lot of us, but that's okay. I don't mind standing out. There's maybe 3 or 4 of us that have AHIMA credentials where I work, and everybody else is, AAPC. It's fine. There's fine coders with both associations. So it's really going to depend on you. It's going to depend on the caliber of your knowledge and how much you are willing to apply yourself. But yes, so those are my thoughts on which way to go. If you can find a really good instructor, a good school that has a lots of hands-on learning, by all means, and if you have the time, I would go for that. But other than that, if you are just going to do online learning, the associations both have their own programs to be able to sit for and learn about medical coding and practice for the exams as well. So just my thoughts from me to you. So I will go ahead and close this out. But if you have any other questions, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching, for viewing, for sharing, for liking, for commenting. All of these things help to boost my ratings on my channel. We are going to do lots of great things next year. Obviously, with all of your support, we will be able to grow a lot more. And I am just excited about the steadiness of the growth of this channel. I really do appreciate it. It means so much to me that people are reaching out, or they're looking for answers, or they're brand new and they want to know more. I like that. I like to see that. That is so wonderful to see. So if you are out there and you are trying to find your way in this world of medical coding and you landed on my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I hope that you will submit questions anytime you feel like you have a question. There's never any judgment, and that's just how I roll, okay? So I will go ahead and close this up. But if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. Okay, I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye!